today, I want to teach you that nonfiction readers will get confused sometimes. It's bound to happen. So when this happens, what they do is, well, what they don't do is they don't keep reading. Instead, they pause and go back to the last part that they understood, and they reread, keeping track of what's happening as best they can and clearing up the confusion so that they can move forward. I'm going to teach you how I do this using Rotten and moving on in the chapter that we began reading today. So today we started reading The Rotten Log Hotel. Welcome to the Rotten Log Hotel. So as we move forward in this chapter, carry with you the ideas you were already beginning to have, the predictions. Remember that you want to keep those predictions in your mind, maybe on a Post-it. Carry that with you today. You want to still use all of this cool stuff that you know how to do, no matter what. Okay, let's get to it. So, as you know, when you read nonfiction, you really can read whatever part you want. This part stood out to me, so I'm going to read it right now, and I'm going to make sure if I get confused, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to be proactive. Okay. How come we're not invited? So I'm thinking that this is where the humans come in. So maybe it will be about kind of like our Rotten Log Hotel. Okay. How come we're not invited? Wood contains carbon, calcium, potassium, and other elements. Humans need these too. We eat plants such as corn, lettuce, and beans. Why can't we get nutrients? Why can't we get nutrition from a log? What? This kind of feels like it doesn't fit to me, and I'm not really sure what it's about, because I thought we were learning about where decomposers live and what their like daily lives are like, or their habitat. Now we're talking about eating. I'm kind of confused. I don't know if I should be moving forward. So second I feel that way, I don't move forward. I just take a pause and I'm going to just see, and I kind of ran through that in my head already. Okay, I know who it's about, or I thought I did. I thought it was about humans, but what it's about, that feels super unclear. Okay, so I want to do something. I could go back and just reread it again. I don't know if that's going to do me much good because I just started this section. I could look at other parts that are near it. Ants, termites, whales. I don't know if that's going to help me. I could reread the beginning of the chapter and see. Let's just skim it. Log, lifeless, nutrition. Okay. So that makes sense to me now. I'm seeing the word nutrition here, and about how a log is not just a place where these decomposers live, it also feeds them, and that's probably why they're drawn to it. Okay, so rereading a little bit, especially a part where I felt pretty confident, definitely I think has cleared up some confusion. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna keep reading. Now that I've taken the time to do that, I feel a little bit better. Let me start from the beginning with this new information in mind, or not new, but new for me. Wood contains carbon, calcium, potassium, and other elements. Humans need these too. We eat plants such as corn, lettuce, and beans. Why can't we get nutrition from a log? Imagine taking a bite of a tree. Even if your teeth could chew it into a mass of splinters that you could swallow, ouch, your stomach couldn't digest it. Okay, so pretty clear on who it's about. It's about humans. What? I now understand that it's about nutrition and humans, but I'm not quite sure if I can still say much more. I'll keep reading maybe to see if the next sentence can help me, but if it doesn't, I'm gonna take another pause. Wood is made of cells that have sturdy walls of fibers called, okay, ooh, I'm getting lost. Okay, you know what I kind of am thinking of right now? I'm thinking of not just what happened earlier in this chapter, but earlier in the book. I kind of am remembering there was another thing that felt similar, where she asked like, why does rot smell bad to us? It was like talking about how humans are like the opposite of decomposers in terms of what we eat and how we smell. So maybe that part, because it kind of this reminds me of it, I'm gonna go find it and just see if it can help me think about maybe what this part is really about and what I'm supposed to be learning anyway. Let's find it. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. Why do some things smell bad to us? And that reminded me of what I was just reading. Let me just make sure that I'm clear. Okay. How come we're not invited? So it's like, yeah, like we're being left out of this like decomposition party. Here it's about like where we live and what we eat. And here it's about like how we smell it and how our senses respond. Let's just see what it says here. If it can teach me anything or help me figure out what that part's really about. We're attracted by the luscious scent of food that's good for us, a ripe apple or juicy steak, but we're disgusted by the smell of things that might hurt us. Oh, right. Okay, so this part was basically showing us how different we are from decomposers. Now we need different things. I feel like that's what this part's probably mostly about as well, how we are different from decomposers and we need different things. That is super helpful. Going back to an earlier part from another section, that reminded me of what I was reading before really helped. And I'm also, now that I'm looking at them back to back, looking from one part to another, I'm realizing that these parts that I've flagged are all in italics. Do you see that? And they're the only ones on the pages that are like that. So I'm thinking also like maybe these parts that are in here that are in italics that bring humans into it, maybe they're just meant to kind of like maybe answer some questions that we might have been having, but they're not really the most essential thing for the whole chapter because there's nothing else. Oh, over here. Okay. Yeah, it looks like when she's making comparisons like this, especially when she's comparing it to humans, she uses italics because maybe it's like, you might have been wondering this. Here's the answer. Okay, moving on. So now I'm realizing that this part is about humans and it's about why they can't basically live on a log or eat a log because they need different things. Their bodies work differently. And I'm thinking now also that this is probably not the most important part of the whole section, but it's definitely helpful when you're thinking about the whole text. So something that I'll keep in mind as I keep reading. Okay, so a lot of work I did there, things that you are totally capable of. What I did was when the confusion came up, I really made sure that I stopped. I stopped and I thought. And I asked myself three big questions. What did I just learn? Or what am I like, did I learn something? And I couldn't really answer it. I couldn't really answer any of these except for the who. And that was a red flag for me saying like, okay, you don't just need to stop right now. You need to now do something, figure it out. What are you going to do about it? Well, I want to leave you with this. Whenever you get confused, it's your responsibility to do something. You kind of have to. If you get confused, you have to do something about it. And you saw how I tried out a few different things to help me. I tried rereading the part again and didn't help really. So I had to think of another way. I looked back in the text at a part from earlier in the chapter and it helped a bit. Then I also went back to a whole other part of the book and that seemed to help a lot. So what I want to leave you with is that whenever you are confused, you must do something. Stop what you are doing. Ask yourself some questions to make sure that you are not just whizzing through and then that will help you to figure out what you should do about it. So today and every day you read nonfiction, be okay with being confused, but be ready to do something about it right away. I can't wait to hear how it goes for you today and to see you continue to grow as nonfiction readers. You're doing so well. So proud. See you soon.